Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Clark.
On sailing vessel Temptress. We've been living aboard this antique sailboat for the past 3 years.
And this is how the month of November has gone for us.
Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Clark.
We opted out of a typical American life to live more independently, frugally, and off the grid.
We currently travel the world aboard our antique sailboat named Temptress.
Each month, we sit down to tell you where we are, what we're doing, share the best and worst moments, answer questions, and tell you exactly how much it costs us to live this life.
This is our adventure log for November 2021. Well, it's November in the Dominican Republic, and that means things are cooling down and there's a bit more rain. The more rain is really helpful. We've got this big awning and we can collect most of the water that falls on the boat, run it into our tanks. So we're trying to live off rainwater as much as we can now. That's extra important because...
Because the water is twice as much as it was when we first got here. I don't know if it's inflation or what it is, but it's now $2 for 5 gallons of water, which is fine and it's perfectly something that we could use as much water as we wanted. But
probably what most of the rest of the Caribbean would cost. It's just that here it's usually cheap and we got used to it.
Yeah, so it just made us consider, maybe we can use a little less water every day. She said as she tossed her hair over her shoulder. She needs a lot of water to wash.
It's worth it.
Let's see. Yeah, so weather's good. Weather's nice.
Boat projects?
Boat projects. We just got a very nice care package from Total Boat, who sent us some paint and varnish and brushes and rollers and all kinds of other good things. So we now have no more excuses to get some projects done that have been needing to be done for quite some time.
Well, Temptress in the 90s, I varnished her interior like completely, and it just looked like a jewel case down there. It's all mahogany and teak, and it was just really nice. Well, she's been used a lot. She's traveled a lot of tropical miles since, so it's time to redo it. Yep. And this is a good place to do it.
Yeah, and not just interior varnish, but we've got some exterior varnish to do. We're going to clean out the head, the bathroom, and repaint all that. I'm working on my dinghy back there. There was a incident, the mast came down due to a failure in the mast step a month ago, 2 months ago, too long ago. So I'm reinforcing, I guess, what you would call the collar of the mast, and that'll be needing to be revarnished too. So lots of work.
Yeah, they even sent us bottom paint. Anyway, we're gonna put it all on and we're gonna watch it because I've been doing this for 30 years. You know, I've got a good idea what bottom paint should react like and what. And it'll be a while before we get to all of this stuff, but like in a year or so, we'll say, hey, good varnish, or don't waste your time.
Yeah.
We'll do a
test.
We'll do it so you don't have to.
Yeah. And we do that with all the stuff we test. We don't usually, we don't take sponsorships and things and tell people that things are good unless we've used them for a while or that we're excited about using them, and we try to keep you updated
on the other hand, it's a lot of work for us, so we're not going to put all the varnish on if it was crap. We asked around and people seem to like their stuff quite well, so I'm sure it'll be great.
So we'll prove that it's good. We'll prove that it's good. And one of the things that's going to make that easier, and one of the nice things about staying here for a while, is we've made some friends and we have some friends in the harbor, and there are some empty boats in the harbor.
Yep. So one friend is going to allow us to use his boat to like store all our cushions and all the interior stuff, and that's handy because it's right there. It's real close. And another friend is going to let us basically sleep and live aboard his boat so we don't have to breathe the fumes. Though the interior varnish is going to be water-based. Yeah. I'm interested to see how that works.
Yeah, but it's still sticky and
don't
want to accidentally touch it. So yeah, we'll kind of split our time and figure out how to get things done that way. Other projects, you've got a big one.
Why we haven't been doing interior varnish and exterior varnish and everything is we both have our personal projects. And mine is finally coming to a head. This is this BBMS I've been talking about. If you don't know what it allows lithium batteries to be added to your existing lead system without changing anything. You don't have to change your chargers. You leave your lead in and it's still there working for you, but the lithium can give you the advantages of lithium. And here I have 35 working functional boards, and the software is, well, Software's never done because you want to tweak stuff. But we have a good working system now. So as soon as, last thing is, I cut this with a Dremel, and the company who makes these boards is going to cut them with their computer CAD system or whatever, and they'll look a little nicer. But when the boxes come in, these will be ready to go out. Probably next month's video is going to be a detail on these, deep dive into these, so it's really probably only for the people who are interested in charging systems, and that will have a link to, you know, how to get on the line and buy one, and they should be shipping in like 2 weeks into next year.
Yep. So if you haven't signed up, if you haven't filled out our survey, which is going out in the air conditioning video and the other battery bank management system, bank manager video, we'll put the link in the description here. Make sure you sign up because we are not going to do everything via YouTube. We're going to do most of that stuff via email. So get on the list.
So the day that we have the website up, everybody will get an email that's on that list. And there are over 1,000 people on that list.
So get on now.
Yeah. There might be other boards later. I'm sure there'll be other boards later. The problem, and what's delayed it the most, has been the world is running out of chips. The backlog, the supply chain. And I will design it with a certain chip, and I'll get 10 of them in, and I test it, and it's like, yeah, this works. And then I'm ready to buy 100. And no, that chip's not available anymore. So I redesign it with another chip, get a small number, test them, they're working great. Not there. This time there were 35 when I placed the order. So I bought all the chips that existed, and I've got to find chips in a different way. But now that I know I have a good board, I'm going to look into, I have some friends I used to work with that are defense contractors, and they use board supply houses in the United States because defense contractors, you have to. Well, I think that through their contacts, I can find a supply of chips better. So I'm going to switch to that. And Emily has her own project she's been going. She's obviously been doing board games a lot, and she's got something ready.
Yeah, well, I had a Christmas card game that I was gonna try and get out for sale this year, but instead I'm doing a print and play version, so you can print the game at home and play it this year. I'm putting up a Kickstarter, just a really small campaign if anybody wants to contribute to that, and then we're going to be working on additional games to go in the same box so that it's ready for 2022.
Yeah, so real cheap, and if you have a printer, you can see what she's been working on.
Yep, we'll put that link in the description below, too. Yeah, I think people are probably more excited about your project, though.
Different people, different excitement, right?
True. So, daily life in November, we did Christmas game. We also put up Christmas decorations.
Well, Emily's birthday was a few days ago as of filming this. So everybody say happy birthday to Emily in the comments.
And his birthday is going to be December 10th.
Which will be before this goes out. So.
We seem to have a lot of sailing friends, actually, who have birthdays around this time of year.
Yeah, I don't believe in this stuff, but I used to date a witch. And the witch, when I mentioned that, because I meet a lot of people with birthdays now, she said, well, of course, because you're all Sagittariuses, and Sagittariuses travel the world and seek adventure.
Yeah, if you have a birthday, maybe there's a lot of our views that have birthdays. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
To you.
If you're dreaming of sailing, then if the witch is right, hi. Happy birthday.
And otherwise, a lot of time on our individual projects this month. I think we've been going out a little bit more. The health situation seems to be fairly good here. We're starting to plan a trip.
Technically, it's not good here.
Yeah,
it's just, I guess we've had enough.
seems okay.
Besides, we've had the disease and we've had 2 different vaccines.
Yeah, we're pretty good. We are planning to do an inland trip up maybe to the mountains here with some friends coming up maybe in January.
Yep.
So we'll stay posted about that.
Emily has this heavy sweater and she's just dying to use it. So
I like my comfy sweater.
We get up high enough. The nice thing about this is the biggest island in the Caribbean. It has some very tall mountains, which is one of the reasons we want to be here for hurricane season. It's safer. But the mountains are so high, they have a different climate. They grow apples on this island.
And mangoes and guavas.
Oh, yeah. Pineapples and everything, just what height you're at.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know what else. That's about it for daily life. We've been using the Oculus more.
Yeah, the Oculus. Let me talk about that just for a second. There's this thing called an Oculus. It's by Facebook. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but I do like their device, and it's a virtual reality goggle thing.
Yeah, our friend Nick turned us on to it.
Yeah. So we borrowed his and brought it to the boat because I didn't know if it'd work on the boat because boats are moving. As you can see, we're swinging around. It works fine. It uses cameras and gets site references in the room you're in. But a boat is kind of small. So we play with it sometimes here, but we go up to that old yacht club you see sometime. And lately we've been doing that. And you put on this thing, and next thing you know, half hour's gone by, and you've been moving and shaking. We're getting so much good exercise.
Yeah, we're not big video game people, but it's been a great way to just like get some of our muscle mass back. And also, I have some seasonal depression, so exercise is very important. And doing that every day, if I just do a little bit of exercise, I just feel a lot better.
Yeah, and she's just an absolute pro at Beat Saber.
I'm very good at it. Very cool. I guess we should talk about the budget, like we always do.
Sure. Emily, tell us about the budget.
Tell us about the budget. We spent $1,003. Our food and drink expense was pretty typical. However, we spent more time eating out at restaurants and less time in grocery stores. So $102 in groceries, $190 in restaurants. Our household expenses were $41, including cleaning and those sorts of supplies. Phone bill, $40. Water bill, $100, which is more than it has been, so we'll be collecting more rainwater. Our mooring was $60 as usual. We spent $37 in spare parts, including, I think, a new light for the dinghy and some other things. Healthcare, $121, including insurance and some vitamins. Fuel, $54 for propane and gasoline this month. Clark bought some new shoes, $130 which will probably last him about the next 4 years. Entertainment, $18 for streaming services. And then we spent $110 on birthday and Christmas gifts and postage to get them here. Speaking of gifts, Olight sent us a gift a couple months ago, one of these Warrior 3 flashlights, which we said we would report back to you on. We really, really, really like this flashlight. It's super bright. The case is really nice. It's really lightweight and easy to store. We've been using them like crazy. We've got a few travel size too. They just sent us an email that there's going to be a sale on these starting tomorrow, Sunday night, I believe. This one is on sale in orange, I believe, so it'd make a good emergency flashlight that you can always grab and know where it is. So check it out if you want a nice Christmas gift for somebody in your life that likes boats and light. So if we add up the total for all of 2021 so far, we are at $12,533 for the year. And if we divide that out to monthly average, we spent $1,003 this month, but overall average $1,139.
Thank you, Emily.
All right, that's the budget for the month. Still keeping on with a pretty reasonable budget for living this kind of life. Let's see, what is next? I guess we say thank you. We haven't been saying thank you. We used to say thank you in all of our adventure logs, and we've been slacking on it lately. We have a lot of people to thank, especially this year as we're getting toward the end of the year. We have a huge Patreon following compared to what we did a year ago. Things are going really well, and as a thank you, rather than doing our live stream as
tomorrow,
we've been doing the past few months, I think we're going to do a patrons only video chat via probably Google Meet. So you just click a link, and if you've got a webcam, we can chat. And we'll get to see your faces too, because normally we just talk to this lens.
Hear your voices. It's just so much easier to communicate when you're talking back and forth.
So this will be all Patreon levels. If you're not on Patreon and you're seeing this on Saturday, you can join Patreon and join the video chat. We'll put a link up there for patrons only, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, which is Sunday, at 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is 3 p.m. our time, but 2 p.m. for most of you Eastern folks, and whatever that is, I think 11 Pacific or whatever.
And for people new to Patreon, if everybody comes over, there's this thing called posts, and we will do a post in the morning that has a link to where to go. So just look in the posts and follow the link.
Okay.
Emily's done this before with this tool and assures me it's very easy.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy.
I guess you have to have a Google account. But that's like if you have a password,
if you have a Gmail account.
It's the same as the one for YouTube, and it's the same as with Google, YouTube are the same. And if you have a cell phone, it was the same you used for your cell phone.
And you don't need a webcam; you could just do it with voice. But we'd love to see your faces too.
Yeah, sure.
So, anything else for November?
I mean, there's that best and worst thing we usually do.
Oh yeah, we usually do best and worst.
I know what the worst is. Poor Brock's boat.
Yeah, well, that was last month. That was last
Okay.
month. But he's doing really well. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out. That video is doing really well, actually. We were in a bit of a slump, and people seem to be liking that video. He's a really great guy. We've gotten to know him a little bit better.
We didn't know him too well before, and I'm sad his boat burned down, but I would have missed meeting him otherwise, I think, because he's moving through
Yeah, he's moving on pretty soon. Yeah, we have some other friends that are coming down soon as well.
Yeah, some Bahamas friends
Some Bahamas
that are
friends,
moving
yep.
their boats here.
Yeah, but yeah, so there's just a lot of good. I don't know if there's a best. I think I'm glad the BBMS thing is finally shaking out. It's been every month, it's been like, I finally got it. It's finally ready. And then parts or something goes
Something
wrong.
happens, yeah. Well, that would have been done long ago. It was done in July. It functioned like I thought it should function. But I have this friend, Conrad, I met him years ago, and Conrad came over and said, gee, it would be nice if. And I said, well, Conrad, you're a friend of mine. We'll Frankenstein one up and we'll add this feature. And we'll add that feature. And then we'll add this feature. And then he brings me white papers about how batteries really should be charged, and I read them along, and it's like, you're right, Conrad. So we totally redesigned it. And that the base version will be available eventually, but this initial is only going to be the pluses, and the pluses, in our opinion, I'm going to include him in now because he's really helped. But it's the way lithium should be charged.
So that's definitely the best thing.
Yep.
I don't know about the word. Yeah, I don't think there's been a worst thing.
Well, the other best thing is you've got that game coming out.
Yeah, I guess it's my
Your
first
second published
official
game?
released game. Yeah.
Well, the first one you're releasing.
Yeah, but the other one's not published yet, so.
Oh, okay.
Haha.
Yeah, well, but I mean, it's in the process.
Yeah.
They're dying to publish it. They're just waiting for their little gears to turn.
Yeah, but everything's good for us. We hope things are good for you as we're going into sort of the holiday season for the majority of people that we know. Anyway, a lot of people. Yeah, and stay in touch. Hopefully we'll talk to some of you tomorrow on Patreon, and otherwise we will talk to you next week about BBMSs, maybe, and next month for our next adventure log. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
When we met, we knew that we did things differently, but with no regrets, both living life authentically. So we packed up this antique boat to make a life upon the sea. For the worse and for the better, to live a life full of adventure. Emily and Clark's adventure.